Tell me if this sounds familiar. Your hair looks straight, right? You don't have ringlets like curly hair people do, but the second there's a little drop of humidity in the air, it poofs up into this frizzy mess. Or maybe you've noticed that when your hair is wet, it looks kind of wavy, but if you air dry it, it doesn't have any definition whatsoever. Basically, it's not straight, it's not curly, it's just puffy. It's just puffy all the time. If this resonates with you, then I have some news. You don't have straight hair. Your hair is actually wavy and you have no idea. Today I'm gonna give you 7 tips on how you can bring out texture in hair that's puffy, but not that curly. Let's go. Tip number 1 is to start with extremely wet hair. When it comes to wavy and curly hair, you need to start the styling process when it's soaking wet, not damp, not towel dried, but literally dripping wet. This helps distribute product evenly, it encourages clumps to form, and it locks in moisture, which prevents frizz. If your hair dries super fast, then keep a spray bottle handy and re-wet the sections as you style. Tip number 2 is to use a leave-in conditioner. One of the biggest mistakes that people make with wavy or curly hair is not giving it enough hydration. If your hair gets frizzy, it gets dry, or it just loses its shape throughout the day, that's a telltale sign that it needs more moisture. Wavy and curly hair types naturally struggle to retain moisture because the bends in the hair shaft actually make it harder for natural oils to travel down the strand. That's why curly and wavy hair always feel so dry, right? Without enough hydration in the hair, it will become frizzy, the shape will become really undefined. So that is where leave-in conditioner comes in. It helps hydrate your hair, it smooths the frizz out, and it creates a really great foundation for your waves or your curls to form properly. Because my hair is fine, I like to keep conditioner products kind of off the root so it doesn't get too weighed down, but I still do apply a good amount of leave-in conditioner from the mid shafts to the ends. Again, when my hair is soaking wet. Tip number 3 is to now go in with a lightweight gel. If you've been avoiding gel because you're scared of crunchy, stiff looking hair, trust me, I get it. I don't like the look of that either. But here's the truth, okay? Wavy and curly hair needs something to hold its shape as it dries. Without gel or mousse, your waves or curls might look great when they're wet, but they will dry into kind of an undefined sort of puffiness. Gel creates a cast around each curl, locking in the shape and preventing frizz while your hair dries. My 4th tip is to use a very specific parting technique to maximize curl formation and volume. This is what works really well for me. I start by parting the top sections of my hair out. Then I take sections moving diagonally back and I use a fine-tooth comb to lift that section up right from the root and let it drop. Once I've worked my way around the head, I start scrunching. My hair is still super wet, and that's why I'm able to scrunch the texture in so easily, even though my hair really isn't that curly. You can see that, right? Because my hair is so wet and I'm scrunching, I'm getting a lot more texture than I naturally have. For the top section, I like to do something called a herringbone parting. A lot of people will just part their hair straight down the middle, or they'll do a side part, call it a day. With my hair texture, if I do that, I'll end up getting kind of a flat, straighter top and then really puffy sides. It does not work very well for my hair texture at all. So if you've noticed that on yourself as well, a great way to get really natural looking volume and a really nice even wave distribution is to use something called a herringbone parting on the top sections of your hair. As you can see here, all I do is I just use a comb for this, sectioning in that herringbone way by basically zigzagging the part, and then I elevate up and drop the hair back, section by section. This technique helps the waves fall more naturally on top instead of clumping all in one direction, which can then lead to those flat spots or just really uneven definition. After that, I flip my head upside down and I scrunch for as long as I need to in order to get definition at the top. Tip number 5 is to start drying by hover diffusing. Hover diffusing means holding the diffuser near your hair, but without touching it at first. Okay, this helps set your waves or curl patterns in place without disturbing their natural pattern. A lot of people will immediately cup their hair into the diffuser. You know, they'll cup their curls like this into the diffuser and they'll push it up towards the scalp. Listen, if that works for you, that's great. There's no right or wrong when it comes to beauty. But I do find that if I do that on my hair, my curls end up looking not only frizzy, but almost uneven. Like they'll look unbalanced. By hover diffusing first, what you're doing is basically just allowing that gel cast or that curl pattern to form before introducing any movement into the hair. I like to hover diffuse by throwing all my hair to one side, hover, hover, and then alternate all the way to the other side, hover, hover, and back and forth. After my hair is about 50 to 60% dry, so I get half that moisture out of there, that's when I start scrunching up my hair into the diffuser. And that brings me to tip number 6, and that's to dry the roots first when scrunching. A lot of moisture is actually concentrated up here at the top of the head. So if you put the bottom of your hair into the diffuser first, what can happen is you'll end up with kind of wet, flat roots and really dried out ends. So just put the prongs into the root first, and then when you feel like your roots are dry, you can then put all the hair into the prongs. When I've moved on to drying this way, I like to turn the speed way down, the air speed way down, so that I'm not just like blasting air into my hair, because that's, of course, again, gonna make the hair really frizzy. After I get the hair to about 80, even 90% dry, I usually finish it off by either hover diffusing, or if I have time, I'll just let the rest of it air dry and I just won't touch it. One thing to note is that as your hair dries, the gel is gonna form a cast, which might feel stiff or crunchy at first. This is totally normal. It's actually a good thing because it protects your curls as they set. You can really see in this clip how my hair looks wet from the gel, even though it's actually mostly dry at this point. It's actually mostly dry and it still looks wet from that gel, right? And that's okay. The gel is protecting the shape underneath. Once your hair is completely dry, you'll want to scrunch out the crunch to reveal that soft, beautiful, bouncy texture. Some people do this with clean hands, and some people will actually scrunch with a hair oil in their hands. Since my hair is so fine, I typically prefer to do it without oil most of the time, but I'll leave it up to you guys what works best for you and your hair type. If you have thicker hair or very frizzy hair, you might want to actually break that cast with a little bit of Moroccan oil or argan oil in your hands. It will help just create a little bit more definition and kind of prevent frizz even more. My last tip is a little controversial in the curly hair community, but since I'm not a part of the curly hair community anyway, I'm gonna tell you, okay? Tip number 7 is to go over any undefined areas with a really narrow curling wand. I'm not the type of person who will avoid hot tools at all costs, okay? Surprise, surprise, like half my channel is on how to style your hair with hot tools. I love hot tools, and that's why my curls aren't nearly as nice as they could be, but I'm willing to suffer the consequences of that so that I can wear my hair in different ways, right? I'm gonna wear my hair bone straight. I'm gonna wear it blown out with volume. I'm gonna wear it curled with curling iron curls, but I still do wanna wear my natural hair texture every once in a while. It doesn't have to be all or nothing, but because of that choice, I do have areas, especially in the front, that are kind of undefined, even if I do all the steps right. A way that I get around this is by picking out the undefined spots in my hair, the spots that just didn't really curl as well as I wish they would. And I use a really narrow curling wand to mimic a natural curl. When you're doing this, you're gonna wanna choose a curling wand that is 3/4 of an inch in size or smaller, or it's gonna look like a styled curl and not a natural curl. It's gonna look really bad, okay? You want it to kind of fit in with the natural way that your hair looks. So choose a curling iron that is 3/4 of an inch or smaller. Go through your natural hair, find the wonky spots, and then try to follow its natural curl pattern. The weird sections have usually started to curl, but then they kind of got weird along the way. So just help it along by following what's already going on at the root. You're probably gonna have a bend somewhere, and then just follow what's going on and finish it off. After that, you're good to go. This is the end result. I love styling my hair like this when I'm in a hot climate with high humidity because despite all the tricks I know and all the products I have, no matter what, my blowout will not last if there is a lot of moisture in the air, but my natural curls will actually look their best in that climate. The hotter, the more humid, you know, the stuffier the air, the nicer my natural curls look. It's crazy. Thank you guys for watching. I really, truly appreciate having you here, and I hope that you feel beautiful today. This video's over.